Mr. Miliband outlined his proposals in a document launched at the International Institute of Strategic Studies in London. Entitled "Lifting the Nuclear Shadow, Creating the Conditions for Abolishing Nuclear Weapons," the pamphlet contains a 6-point plan for a nuclear-free world.
The starting point must be the fact that there is no more evocative image for any of us than the mushroom cloud. Anyone who grew up in the 1980s, as I did, will remember that as the generation of the 1960s saw this as a defining issue, it became a defining issue again in the 1980s. And the question that is at the heart of the pamphlet that we're publishing today and is at the heart of the debate that I think is taking off internationally, and I'll say a word about the discussions that I had yesterday with Secretary Clinton, with the National Security Advisor Jones as well, a debate that I think is going to be given new impetus by the Obama administration, is that it raises absolutely fundamental questions about safety and security in a world whose dimensions has changed profoundly since the Cold War, for which many of the current doctrines were developed and on which much current thinking depends.
The document calls for watertight measures to stop terrorists or emerging states from getting atomic weapons, deeper cuts in American and Russian nuclear arsenals, and the activation of a global nuclear test ban treaty. The Foreign Secretary said nuclear weapons remain potentially the most destructive threat to global security.
The threat is obvious, that more people and more countries are seeking the ultimate weapon, and that in the case of North Korea, people will know about the critical stage of the six-party talks at the moment. And in respect of the Iranian nuclear program, the other clear and present danger to the non-proliferation regime, the engagement of the Obama administration in the multilateral process of the E3+3, and what the IAEA have shown about the progress that Iran has made in respect of its nuclear uranium enrichment program, mean that we're at a very, very critical moment. But we're also at a moment of opportunity. And I suppose that every foreign policy speech by any foreign minister anywhere in the world at the moment says that the Obama administration creates an opportunity. But in this case, it's true. And I think it's worth, I don't know if people have really, let me just quote what President Obama said. He said, "As president, I will set a new direction in nuclear weapons policy and show the world that America believes in its existing commitment under the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty to work ultimately to eliminate all nuclear weapons." That is a very radical statement for a new President of the United States to say.
Mr. Miliband said that although the challenges are considerable, progress on the 6 steps proposed would mark a decisive break from the deadlock of the past.
What we're trying to do today, I think I should make clear, is contribute to that debate with a very specific purpose in mind. And that purpose is not to announce new policy. It's a different purpose. Henry Kissinger once said that an idea born in the heads of a few and carried in the hearts of none has no chance of success. I was talking about that, about foreign policy. And I think that applies to this issue, perhaps above all others. It's an issue where there's a great temptation for it to be kept in the heads of the few. But actually, the ethical issues and the security issues that are raised by it say to me that it's a paramount issue where you actually want more debate rather than less. And that's why we're using this issue to launch this Foreign Office document, which is an attempt to try and engage in a wider public debate than usually happens, especially on this issue.
The new policy paper is designed to add momentum to British efforts to reinvigorate the global disarmament process, explain UK policy, and promote a deeper understanding of this complex issue.